Good morning, traders, and happy Monday. I am Gates Adams. I'm your host, and welcome back to the Trader Bacon Show. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend, moving into a new week of trading and a new week of opportunity. So first and foremost, I wanted to announce last week's winners of the evaluations are Belen, July, and Jesse. So congratulations on that. And of course, as we get started today, we will be giving away 3 evaluations from this show as well. So we'll get that form up in the chat here in just a moment. So make sure you get that filled out. And as long as it's filled out before the end of the show, you will have an opportunity to win one of the 3 evaluations that we're giving away for Apex Trader Funding. And we will be announcing those winners once again next week, as is our norm now. But you will be, the winners will be receiving an email before the end of the week with all of the details on how to get those activated. So as we get into today's show, I want to basically move things over to across the pond over in Europe, in Croatia. We have Ivan today, a 6-figure trader with Apex Trader Funding, 6-figure payee, I should say. And he is going to share some of his wisdom as not only an experienced trader, but also as a bit of a mentor and trainer for some other traders as well. So as we get started here, let's welcome Ivan as we get into today's Trader Bacon Show.
Welcome to the Trader Bacon Show, where we showcase everyday traders that are getting funded, paid, and bringing home the bacon. Are you ready? Because the Trader Bacon Show starts right now.
Good morning, Ivan. How are you today?
Hello.
I always want to say good morning, but I have to keep reminding myself that it is not.
Yeah, it's 4 p.m.
Right?
In Europe, it's 4 p.m.
Yes. So thank you for spending a little bit of time with us today and sharing some of your wisdom. Glad to have you on the show. We had a chance to catch up a little bit this weekend in preparation for the show. And I think we've got some really exciting and valuable information that we're going to have the opportunity to share today. So first and foremost, let's learn a little bit more about you. You've been trading for a little while now, right?
Yeah, so basically I've been trading for 7-8 years. Okay. I completed DNA education by S&P Capital, and I've been not just with Apex, with other companies as well for a while. Apex, it's kind of the best for scalping. I've been working with Apex for the last 5 months, and they paid me $196,000 in those. It's pretty great. And for scalping, I kind of like them the most. It's better to risk someone else's money, not my own.
Sure.
So I prepared a couple of examples. So basically, I prefer to pay attention to a couple of time frames, and then I just want to make sure that the market is trending in one direction. And then I'm trading on the lowest time frame. So basically, I'm if you do want to go on the charts right now or maybe later.
We'll go here in a few minutes. We'll learn a little bit about you and kind of get everything, just kind of set a foundation for where we're going to go today. Now, so obviously you're trading futures now. Have you always traded futures, or have you?
No. I was trading equities for over 7 years, and most of my success came. I was maybe holding positions for like 2 weeks on average, but most of those equities were based on strong fundamentals. Like for example, when Moderna was around $9 or $13 a share. So basically, we had throughout the company S&P, the basic actually they had like scientists coming from Pfizer to that company. We had knowledge that they have technology, that they had funds, and board of directors decided they are going to try to create a vaccine, right? So basically, 1 year before they actually created the vaccine, we started buying their shares. So it's been from $8 to $11 a share, and then it went up all the way up to 180. So basically, when entire world knew that they have vaccine, that was the time where we were kind of closing our entire positions. So it's very important to have strong, analysts that are able to provide you information like those. Gotcha. But those are a little bit longer term trading, right? Apex is mostly for scalping.
Sure. Of course, obviously it has to be intraday. All positions have to be closed by end of day. So when you transition now, did you transition into futures specifically to operate with Apex or a funding company, or did that transition happen first?
Well, the thing is, like when I have trades that last for like 2 or 3 weeks, I have a lot of free time. So, like Apex comes in handy, to make 190,000 in less than a year. It's pretty sweet, right?
Right. Well, the opportunity is for sure there, but obviously you've got to get to the point where you have the fundamental understanding of how to make that work. We have traders who are new and getting their way through the process, traders who are winning and losing periodically, and then we have traders who are, of course, on that consistent track, which is where you're starting to see those 6-figure and 7-figure payees as funded traders. So it's a journey. Look, there's no end to the journey. I don't think we ever really stop learning when it comes to this process. So I'm just a little curious, when you made that transition from longer term trades on equities to shorter term trades in futures, how was that transition for you? Did you have to learn something new? Or
no, like pretty much technical analysis, it's based on the same rules, same principles. It's just percentage is way higher when you have like good analysis and everything, but you're taking way less trades, right? Maybe 5-7 trades a day when it comes to equities. Before with Apex, I'm taking around 40 to 50 trades a day. So even though percentage is way lower, it doesn't matter as long as I have a little bit of the edge, and with the help of Apex, right, it kind of stacks up.
So let me ask you this, because of course everybody's different in their journey. So you said 40 to 50 trades a day?
Yeah.
Okay. So based on your experience, because I know a lot of people are just shooting for that one and done trade, right? And so they might
it's too much of the gambling.
Okay, so you're looking to basically go for those percentages, for the averages, right?
Yeah. So basically, let's say if I lose, let's say 600. If I make 750. So if you 50% or more, you're gonna be making money, right? So the thing is, I know doesn't matter how good setup you have in trading futures, you can never have more than 60% on the long term. Doesn't matter like how good the setup is. So the thing is, like when you realize it, and when you're able to see more setups throughout the day, and I'm not just trading, I have like 6 screens, right? So I'm paying attention to with oil market, with currencies, with ES, with NQ, with gas, natural gas. I'm pretty much paying attention to all those markets, right? So every time I know what I'm looking for, what I'm prepared, and like I've been doing this for like 8 years already. Sure. So it's like it's kind of inside of me, like
your eyes are tuned in, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So I mean, you listed a whole bunch of them. I mean, do you have a set number of markets that you're looking at any given time?
So lately, natural gas, because the price dropped way too much. It's like an oil, when it's been around like $15 a barrel. So it's like, I know the Apex you cannot hold for longer, but I know a lot of traders are not trading those markets, and still like movements like you can have on natural gas, like maybe 7-8%, sometimes even more than 10% in a single day. Sure. So comparing that to ES or NQ, that if it moves 1% a day, it's a lot, right? Sure. So the thing is, those movements are a lot bigger. So why not to take advantage of that volatility?
Got it. Okay. So now as you go through this, like, will you take multiple trades at the same time? So for example, if you're looking at, let's call it crude oil, and you're looking at NQ, would you be in 2 separate trades at the same time?
Yeah, I might have 4 or 5 open trades at the same time, and sometimes for 20 minutes, not even one. So like I have a couple of time frames open. So when everything aligns, then I'm about to take a trade, right? And also what I talked before, a lot of people know how to create support and resistance levels, how to draw the channels. But the point is, like, you have to see how the price when it's approaching that level, right? You wait for it, and then you want to see if it's respected that level and if it's being rejected. You cannot just place a limit order hoping that the price is going to reject out of that level, right? So it's kind of it's like about paying attention to details as much as you can.
So we're obviously talking about some charting and some visuals here. So I think this would be a good time if we want to go ahead and bring up. So you had some screenshots to show us about.
Absolutely. So I took only a couple of them, not many.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, you can have a look. For example, this one. Before the market was kind of in the trading range, then it started to go up. So basically, I'm looking for a second entry long when we have an uptrend, right? So the thing is, you can see like I bought it here and closed it here, right? So it's never perfect, right? But the thing is, like like a lot of amateur traders, they will buy here because it's kind of still in the channel, right? But you can see that the price is not respected at level at all. So basically, the trend changed just like that. So basically, also my mind changed accordingly. So basically, after this longer push down, I was still looking for a short opportunities, right? So the thing is, you have to switch from one side to another when market is telling you to do so.
Okay. So then you have to know what to look for to determine if it has in fact changed for you. So now obviously we can see where the market, of course, slipped out of the channel, broke south, and made a move. So at what point do you see an opportunity based on that to take your entry? Because
so I'm looking for 2 time frames, right? It's either 2-minute chart and then 1000 tick chart and 400 tick chart. So I want to make sure that all those 3 charts are pointing one direction. When they do, then, for example, I want to see like here a series of higher highs and higher lows. So, and then when I see that, and then when I see that the price is respecting those levels, that's kind of my, then I'm going to make the decision either to enter a trade or not. But if everything lines up, most likely I'm going to.
Okay. So
this is an example of shorting, really strong market, and this is really easy. And I'm talking about the trending trends. I know how to train trading ranges as well, but the most profitable trades are when the markets are really fast and one directional.
Got it. Now, Steve asks you use market orders a maximum. I want to make sure.
Not really. It's 5 contracts. I can use 10 on $50,000, right? So it's not maximum. It's half of it.
Okay, gotcha. I again want to make sure I understood the question correctly. Okay, so when you find these opportunities, again, we're either looking for it to respect or to not respect a certain level and respond accordingly to that. So at what point do you figure out how do you set your risk and reward on a particular trade? Because obviously that's going to vary based on market conditions.
Yeah, so basically it's set straight, right? So either I'm going to lose $600 on each trade or make $750.
Okay.
So every trade is the same. So as long as I'm able to stay above 50%, I'll be making money constantly.
Got it. Okay, and I would presume that you track your statistics pretty diligently.
Yeah, of course. Well, you have to do that if you're making a living out of it, right?
Of course. And again, I think these are the little things that, yes, everybody knows that they should track stats. I think everybody knows that they should be journaling their trades, all of these factors. But it's a lot of times people tend to have a hesitancy. They want to learn the mechanics. They want to start to see the fruit.
Well, the thing is, it's all about, as I said, I use free charts, right? So it's all about to pay to as many details as you can. Like when we were trading, equities, like 80% of the decision-making process were fundamentals. But here with Apex, since you're trading, like really short time frames, it's only technicals, right? So the thing is, that's, I guess, the only adjustment that you have to make. But at least, because you're trading smaller time frames, your percentage is going to go significantly down. But it doesn't matter if you're taking more trades, right? As I mentioned, on equities, I was trading maybe 5-7 trades a day. So comparing that to Apex around 40 or 50, it's, it kind of evens up.
Sure. So it's definitely a more active process here. So Steve asks, talking about statistics, do you look back at them every week? I know he says he skips that part. I know many of us are guilty of that.
Yeah, I don't do that every week. Usually I prefer to leave it for Saturday or Sunday when I have a little bit of free time. Then I like to see all the mistakes that I did and what can I do in order to improve for the next time. Because we all make mistakes. Market is live and it's really fast. Sometimes it looks like you have a setup, and then with the next second, it's completely different story, right? So, so you have to kind of be aware of it and just do your best. I mean, it's possible to make the money, right? And if you work hard, you can. Like I can suggest, for example, Al Brooks, all his you can go on YouTube. Everything is pretty much free. So whoever wants to learn about trading technicals, you can go and just dedicate maybe a couple of months, and you'll be able to make money if you're able to, follow his teaching.
Sure, and of course, there's no guarantees on that. We have to do this because it's a live show.
Of course, I understand.
And right, so we're talking trading. We always have to have all the multiple disclaimers. So of course, just everybody.
Trading is like tennis. Like millions of people are playing it, but only top, let's say, 300 or 400 are making money, and only top 100 are making hundreds of millions of dollars, and everyone else is not able to make money. That's the same in trading. For someone that makes money, there has to be someone on the other side that's losing it.
Right.
So like you have to start from that assumption. And that's then when the people are going to realize why it's so hard.
Right. Well, and again, I think if we're going to use some metaphors here, it's kind of like poker, where if you go to a casino, you pretty much do not have the edge unless you're playing against other players. When you're playing against other players, you can develop an edge through skill. And
yeah, absolutely. I mean, like casino has an edge in every single game. So if you play, for example, like roulette, doesn't matter whatever you do on the long term, you're going to lose money. Because the house has the edge, so it's like you don't want to be in that position. Like here, at least technicals gives you a little bit of the edge if you know what you're doing.
So I think a lot of this is really just understanding what is going to give you a slight increase in your overall stats. So whether that be understanding, utilizing different time frames, finding that confluence, finding that congruence from one market to another, and putting all of these pieces together. Now, of course, that doesn't happen overnight. You said you've been trading for about 7 or 8 years. At what point would you say you got to be relatively consistent in your results and your profits as a trader?
Yeah. So the thing is, education lasted like for 2 years, and then I was trading for a year without able to make money. So I wasted 3 years for nothing. I mean, it's not for nothing, because later on, for the last 4.5 years, I'm making very decent amounts of money, right? But like people, that's what they have to realize. Like you'll have to spend a lot of time trying to figure out. Sometimes when you're doing that every single day, it looks easy. But when someone is starting from the scratch, they're making a lot of mistakes without them being aware of it.
Sure.
So if you're not aware of your mistakes, you cannot progress and become better.
Right. So as you do your review, since we kind of got on the topic of reviewing your trades, is this what you do? You take screenshots so that you can review each of them over the course of the week?
It depends on how fast the markets are, right? So when New York Stock Exchange opens, sometimes the markets are so fast that I'm not able to take screenshots. Mm-hmm. So only when I have enough time, then I'm going to take it. But as the time is passing by, I'm doing that less and less. I was doing that more, let's say 3 or 4 years ago. But right now, it's like I've been doing that for a really long time, right? Even before Apex existed. So it's like it's kind of a part of me. Like I already know if I made a mistake or not, and like before taking a screenshot. So that was necessary when you're kind of developing yourself. Sure. But after almost a decade of trading, need for that is kind of way lower.
Certainly, and I bring that point up because most of us can't get through 40 to 50 trades in a day with any reasonable sense of whether we made a mistake or whether we didn't. We can look at the stats, but we can't necessarily look at the individual trades because it can be overwhelming. You're talking 200 trades over the course of a week. Well, reviewing that takes time, and so obviously, as you go down this journey, you start off small. Take 2 or 3 trades a day. Make sure that you review them. Yeah. At least from the standpoint of learning how to review those.
No, I would say, like, whoever wants to become like really good in trading, just find any companies that has traders that are doing that for a living, because doing it on your own, it's way harder. There are a lot of pro firm companies that are hiring traders, right? So find one and just try to sit close to those people that are able to make consistent profit, and then ask questions as much as you can. That's the best way to develop yourself, because I would say a lot of people, they are trading and making a lot of mistakes over and over and over without them being aware of those mistakes, right?
Sure.
So you need someone to tell me, listen, buddy, this is the mistake that you did. You can do this better next time by, paying attention to those and those details.
Right. So this brings us into the concept of either having a mentor, having a community, or if you have
absolutely. But the thing is, when it comes to online community, like it's so much BS and so many scams that I wouldn't suggest anything, right? So
vet your community for sure and make sure that you're talking to the right people. Absolutely. So Steve asks, how is your emotional control going after all of these years? And if you can give them any tips on how to maintain that emotional.
Yeah, so the most important thing is to treat it as a game, not to care about the money. Just focus on your performance.
Sure.
And you just make sure you're not stressed, that you're really well relaxed, that your body is healthy, that you're fit, that your mind is straight, that there are no negative emotions inside of you because of something else influencing your judgments and stuff like that. So just be relaxed as much as you can, gather education and knowledge, and just move forward.
Well, that brings up a point. Most of the people who watch the show regularly have heard me talk about the fact that I will not trade unless I meditate. That's a big thing for me. I know that's not for everybody, but for me, that operates almost like that beta blocker where.
Yeah, well, the thing is, to be perfect in whatever you do, you have to live in the moment, right? Sure. So let's say you're trading for a hedge fund of hundreds of millions of dollars, and you lose 3-4 million. Like if you're living in the moment, those negative thoughts and everything that did in the past won't influence your decision process on the next trade. That's how the professional is supposed to behave, right? So the thing is, when you're kind of meditating, you are kind of actually moving your brain to live in the moment. Sure. Because everything that's in your brain, when it comes to the past or the future, that's what creates emotions, and that's what creates nervousness, and that's what creates wrong judgments.
Right. Now, of course, this doesn't happen overnight, as you've been a perfect example of. All of these things take time. They take a certain level of conditioning within yourself. And I think this is one of the key ideas behind the concept of trading is you have to condition a lot of behaviors, which whether they be mindset, whether they be, monitoring a certain chart or activity, all of these things just take time to become a part of who and what you are. And so there's no shortcut, but with diligence and I got to say, this is, one of the things that I love about Apex is because when I first started trading, I deposited money, I lost it, and I was very hesitant to ever deposit money again, right? Which is, I think, pretty normal and natural in the world of trading. But when you can take that and spread it out over a couple of evaluations and PAs and things like that, it definitely helps get that time, that necessary time factor that will help develop these particular traits.
Yeah. And also, if you want me to show you, I can show you this. So these are like the university that I finished, and these are like mentors and some of the students. So basically, and that's me and some of the students. So I've been kind of mentoring. It's more about investing than trading, but a little bit about the economy. So, like every part of the world has, education, institutions like those. And like people that are willing to share whatever they know. So why don't you just find some and join them and discuss with the people when you sit at the table, when you're sure he's not BSing you, right? That's right. A guy asking for money to sell you a course that has zero value, right? And some of it to prove, like for example, I have a company, right? I'm the owner of Millennials. It's two companies. One is in Croatia, one in Bermuda, and I have a track record of how much money I'm making. Sure. So it's like, I cannot fake it. It's like everything is public, right?
Well, and that's the thing. Yeah, you're right. There is so much information out there. And until somebody gets to a certain level, there's very little sort of, I guess, regulation on the type of content.
Absolutely.
Which is why I'm always very careful about what we say and managing the discussion and things like that. But obviously, when you're looking to grow in a situation like this, we've all seen the programs out there that are like red light, green light, trade entries and things like that. I'm not going to speak to how well they work, but what I can say is if you're just following a green light, red light sort of system, you don't learn anything about the market.
And it's not just that I think you won't make it. The thing is, like, imagine if I have a great system and if I share that with you and then you share that with millions of people, then that system won't be profitable anymore. Because there's always someone on the other hand that has to lose money.
Sure.
Right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, think on your own. Don't trust anyone.
And this was, I think, one of the mistakes that I made early on. I learned a strategy. I learned how to execute it well, and I was pretty good at it. But where I struggled was I lost confidence because I didn't know enough about the market. So as I started moving forward, I really started studying some of the basic fundamentals and the technicals and the things that move and drive the market outside of simply looking for a specific chart pattern. And that has made a significant change in the way that I operate. And, I'm still on the journey. I'm still working through it. You guys hear me talk about this all the time. I'm very open about that. But I have to see here, Steve, what is my point of view on the current Pump City on markets? I'm not sure that I'm not sure exactly what you're asking there. I've not heard the term Pump City, and it's probably because I don't spend a lot of time in the community like I should. But if you can clarify that, I'll be happy to answer. That said, bear in mind that, okay. Oh, gotcha. You know what? I did not look at the market this morning. I had to do some show prep, and I was actually having a little bit of a technical difficulty with my charts. So actually, as soon as I finish up, I'm going to get.
But I made 9,000 today.
Yeah. So I haven't made $9,000 today. That's obviously an indication that the opportunity was there. He took advantage of it. It went well. So anyway, love seeing that. So at this point, obviously, you have consistency. You have a significant income. Things are going well for you in the world of trading. Where does this go for you from here?
Well, I have my own company, right? I want to hire other people, but a little bit of different trading what Apex, right, offers. This is like, like it depends on what kind of level you are, right? But if, this is okay, like for, beginners and the medium-sized traders, right? But sometimes, like, for example, traders that were trading for hedge funds or big companies like SMB, the thing is they are looking, for I use TradeStation, right? I have millions of markets there, and I have order flow. So it's like my option is way bigger than, what Apex has. I mean, Apex is just futures, right? But it's like, I'm not sure that Apex can transition towards it. I mean, they are at the top of the game as you speak. There's not even one future company that it's remotely close to Apex. I don't even waste my time on, trying to tell people to maybe use another company just to try to check it out. There's no point. Apex is like millions of light years above everyone. I mean, maybe they can improve later on to offer another, let's say, an option for people to trade equities as well, right? And have an order flow to see entire market like we see on the futures here. That might happen one day if they decide to develop whatever they have. But it's their decision, not mine, right?
Well, sure. And of course, it really depends on whether or not it's a viable, opportunity. And I know that there's some logistics behind, every decision like that. But ultimately, I mean, I think that the way things are going in the world of futures and the way that they're operating in that world of futures, it doesn't necessarily have to be a global option. It can be very niche in terms of operating with intraday futures trading, and that creates that opportunity. People can scale from there based on their needs. So, dude, I love the insight. Obviously, you are what would be considered a more well-rounded trader. You have experience in equities, you have experience in futures, you have utilized different time frames and operated intraday versus longer term.
And maybe I can mention one thing, like I had on how to make really significant amounts of money. Like it's not the Apex, but for example, about Roku. So basically the owner of that company, he stole the patent from the company he was working previously. So basically that was public information when the Roku was around $400 a share. And it went up all the way to 580 or something. So basically what happened, the owner, he went on the options and then he was betting the market is going to crash. And every 2 weeks, he used 70 or 80 million dollars to crash the market of Roku. He was selling as much as he can. So basically, if you follow what he's doing, if you know that the company is built on corruption, if you know that he's betting on options, because he's going to use his shares to crash the markets. If you have so many information, like I had 19 trades and 19 every single winning trade.
Right.
I mean, it lasts maybe for 2 weeks, but you can put more money into it. And percentage, long term, it's a little bit kind of what Apex offers. But I'm just mentioning maybe they decide to listen what I'm telling you right now, and maybe they'll offer that kind of trading as well in the future. You never know.
Yeah, and of course, a lot of that comes with significant experience and the opportunities.
And being connected to the right people, right?
For sure. Yeah.
Listen, as we wrap everything up, man, first of all, just a quick reminder, if you have not filled out the form, go ahead and do so now. We are giving away free evaluations from the show, which we will announce on next week's show. And we will have another exciting and hopefully informative show again next week, where we get to look at some other opportunities and some other strategies in terms of how to continue to be successful and bring home the bacon. Ivan, thanks for your time today, man. I appreciate you, brother.
You're welcome.
Enjoy the rest of your afternoon or evening, I guess, out there in Croatia, and hopefully we'll get a chance to catch up.
I will.
Thanks, man.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. Have a nice day.
You too.
Welcome to the Trader Bacon Show, where we showcase everyday traders that are getting funded,